And welcome into Pressbox Live. I'm Stan the Fan Charles of Pressbox and PressBoxOnline.com. Normally, I'd be here with Glenn Clark making our pick segment, and we had a secondary plan today that our Luke Jackson, managing editor, would sit in with me to discuss the games in some detail, and we'd have Glenn's picks. But Luke Jackson is under the weather, so you've got me solo. I'll say at the beginning here that you can win big with PressBox and our mobile sports betting partners. Get thousands of dollars in incentives and promo offers from Barstool, Caesars, FanDuel, and more at PressBoxOnline.com/offers. That's PressBoxOnline.com/offers. We're also sponsored by Maryland Vascular Specialists. That their team of surgeons is Maryland leaders in ethical arterial procedures. Go to mvsdoctors.com to learn more about their treatments. And every time I come on one of these Zooms or Yardbirds, I'm also brought to you by my friends at the Costas Inn, who do such a fabulous job with curbside pickup. Go to costasinn.com. You can order your food. You can pay for your food, and when you pick it up, you don't even have to get out of your car, and everything's packed immaculately. All right, so let's get to the business at hand. First of all, as I record this, it's just about 11 o'clock a.m. on Thursday, the 19th. Ravens due to hold a press conference this afternoon, midway through the afternoon. I think it starts at 2:30. Eric DeCosta, GM, Vice President, will be there, along with Coach John Harbaugh, and we'll see what they have to say and what questions they will answer today. Hey, if you've been following us all year, we've been making these picks during the regular season in just a conventional way. Glenn and I pick a lock winner versus the spread, take a lock loser versus the spread, and also take the Ravens game. There is no Ravens game this week, unfortunately. But what we do in the playoffs is something a little bit different. We pick a Super Bowl winner and loser that are worth 10 and 5 points at the beginning. We take both of us take a Super Bowl winner and loser. Then the first week's games are worth 1 point. Glenn Clark went 3-3, so he has 3 points, and yours truly on a really deep stink of a stretch, 1-5. That is after finishing the season 0-6 in my last 2 weeks to finish just under 500 for the season. But I am 1-11, so don't pay attention to anything I say other than to conceivably bet the opposite way. But let's get started. Glenn went 3-3 last week. I went 1-5. Glenn for the season went 27-25. He had a rally the last couple of weeks to just eke it out. As I said, I didn't go. By the way, I didn't go 0-6. I went 1-5. All right, and Glenn went 4-2 his last 6 picks. So Glenn on a little bit hotter streak than I. Let's go over the games for this week. Jacksonville on Saturday on NBC at 4:30 in the afternoon. That's Saturday the 21st. Jacksonville goes into Kansas City. The Chiefs are an 8.5-point favorite in that game. The New York Giants are a 7.5-point underdog. That game starts at 8:15 on Fox Saturday evening. The New York Giants at Philadelphia. That's going to get a huge television number. And the Philadelphia Eagles are 7.5-point favorites. Sunday at 3 o'clock, Cincinnati will be at Buffalo, and they will get to play that game that kind of never occurred due to the injury, the seemingly near fatal injury of Damar Hamlin. And by all reports now, Hamlin is at the facility, not working toward having a comeback this year, but he's getting his feet wet with a little bit of, getting his head around play calling on the defense and keeping his head in the game, and hopefully he can return to football activity next season. Cincinnati is at Buffalo, 3 o'clock on CBS. Buffalo has now gotten to be a 5.5 point favorite in that game. Of course, the big story there is the Bengals' banged up offensive line, and odds makers and the money are pushing that spread up. It would not shock me if that went as high as 6 points or 6.5 points by Sunday at 3 o'clock. It's still a lot of time for that spread to go up or down. It's trending in going up, with Buffalo now 5.5 point favorite. And then at 6:30 on Sunday on Fox, Dallas will be at San Francisco, and that game is trending a little bit down. It started at 4.5. It's now 3.5, with San Francisco and rookie quarterback Brock Purdy favored in that game, but now by 3.5 points over the Dallas Cowboys. I guess the Cowboys' impressive win over a lacking Tampa Bay Buccaneers effort on Monday Night Football has Dallas on the upswing a little bit. Don't forget, although they started 6:30, they've got 1 day less to prepare for this game than the other side there. San Francisco got a full 7 days. San Francisco gets the full recovery time. Dallas is doing that a day short because they played late Monday night. So here we go. Let me find. Here we go. I'm going to start off. Glenn is, by the way, on vacation with his wife and kids, a long overdue vacation, and he is in Disneyland right now, down in Florida. And here are Glenn's picks. I wanted to be the first to read them to you because I made my picks separate of knowing Glenn's picks. Let's start with the Jacksonville, Kansas City game. Glenn Clark is taking the underdog. He's taking 8.5 points in Jacksonville. I am taking Kansas City and laying the 8.5 points. So we differ on that game. Both of us are picking Philadelphia, laying the 7.5 points to the Giants. We're taking Philadelphia. Both Glenn and I are taking that. On Sunday, the early game, I like the underdog Cincinnati Bengals getting 5.5 points. I believe in Joe Burrow enough to think he will be able to cover this spread and make a challenge in this game, much the way the Ravens did in an undermanned situation at Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati will rise to the occasion here and keep this football game somewhat close against Josh Allen, who has not been playing his best football, no question about it. Glenn agrees with me. So both of us are taking Cincinnati. And finally, we have the Sunday 6:30 on Fox game with San Francisco, a 3.5 point favorite. Both Glenn and I like the San Francisco 49ers to overtake the Dallas Cowboys. So there you have it. Again, to recap, I am just 1-5. I have 1 point. Glenn has 3 points. This week's pick, our 4 picks, are worth 2 each. So there's 8 points at play here, but I can only pick up one possible game from Glenn this week because we differ on the Jacksonville game. Glenn is taking the Jaguars plus the 8.5. I'm laying the 8.5. And again, recapping, Glenn likes Jacksonville, Philadelphia, the underdog Cincinnati Bengals, and the favorite San Francisco 49ers. I'm in disagreement with him. I take Kansas City, but on the other 3 games, we are in agreement 100%. Glenn and I will be back next week to do one of these live together again, and that'll be fun. And I'll be able to hear tales of how his 2 sons enjoyed the trip to Disneyland, a trip of a lifetime. I'll be back tonight with Gary Stein and our special guest, Bo Smolka, who covers the Ravens for PressBox and PressBoxOnline.com. He also has a podcast with Daniel Wilcox. But we'll do that tonight at 7 p.m. We'll have all the latest nuance and fact from the Harbaugh DaCosta press conference this afternoon. That's it for now. Stay in the fan. I will be back 7 o'clock tonight with Gary Stein. Monday night, by the way, which is the 16th, the 23rd, Monday night at 6 o'clock. Matt Blood, player development director for the Baltimore Orioles, will join Ross Grimsley and I come Monday. That's it for now. We'll see you back here later on.